Hello, everyone. Welcome to Lost in the Real. Today, I am here with Morgan. It has been so long, Morgan. How are you?
I'm good, Sean. How are you?
I'm good. We have not done a review together in so long, but it is the spooky season coming up here. I know that we both love this time of year, so I thought let's do some horror movie reviews.
Yes, please. My favorite season.
I know. It's literally the best. So today we are talking about Salem's Lot, not the two miniseries. We are talking about the 2024 Salem's Lot that's coming out on HBO Max on October 3rd, I believe. So without further ado, let's get started. Okay, so Salem's Lot, this new version, it's executive produced by James Wan, who did Saw, who did Insidious, Malignant, all the movies. James Wan. He's executive produced this film. It started filming in 2021, and it was supposed to come out in 2022. And then nothing. And then all of a sudden, it was supposed to come out in 2023. And then delayed again. And then the end of 2023, delayed again. And then it was not on the release schedule at all. And now all of a sudden, HBO Max finally decided to release this thing in 2024 on their streaming platform when WB could have released this in theaters. So obviously this thing has gone through a lot of production and release issues. My question to you, Morgan, before we start getting into the nitty-gritty of everything without spoilers, is do you think this should have been released in theaters, or is it worth it? Let me know.
Absolutely. I might be biased though because I like horror is meant for that audience experience. You need that communal jump scare, giggle afterward,
Yeah.
And I felt that watching this movie. So I think that it is like sad that we didn't get it to experience this in theaters. And for so long. How dare you? How dare you delay this for so long?
Right, and that's my biggest question is like, and Stephen King wrote out a tweet or an X tweet or whatever they call it nowadays. I sound like a grandpa here,
Yeah.
but
Okay, boomer. I'm sorry.
but he said like, why are they not releasing this? Like, it's not something to be embarrassed about, and I agree completely with him. Does the movie have issues? Absolutely, and I think that we will talk about those. But like at the end of the day, this was a really fun, entertaining movie, and it could have been released in theaters, and it might not have done gangbusters like It Chapter 1 or even It Chapter 2, but like it could have been a pretty substantial hit for Warner Brothers, and it's a fun film. So I don't know why they were holding it close to their chest and almost didn't release it at all.
Same. I'm glad they released it, thank goodness. But I just like the whole time I was watching it, some mixed feelings, obviously.
Mhm.
But at the like every time I would finish the scene, I'd be like, this would have done great in theaters, great in
Yeah.
theaters, great in theaters. Like they missed out, and there you go.
I mean, honestly, when I was watching this, I was like, I wish that me and Morgan were watching this together in a movie theater, you know?
Same. Well, I
Like,
don't know.
there
You
were
probably
so
would have
many
like.
crazy moments that I was like, oh, me and Morgan would have totally died at this moment. So, like, I don't know. I feel like a lot of people would have felt the same. And even though it's not a perfect film by any means, I think that they missed out by just plopping this onto their streaming platform.
Yeah, same.
So you are familiar with Salem's Lot more than I am. Tell me how you think it kind of goes with the miniseries. Like, how do you think it compares to them?
To be blunt, I was very upset in the very beginning, and like I don't even know how far we gone. I got into the movie where I was like, how dare they? Like, and
Oh.
but you could see how the miniseries took it slow. Like I think the book and the original movie did, where it was like, what is going on? What's gonna happen? What's like, are there vampires? We don't know. Versus this one was just like, boom, death,
Yeah.
vampires. And at first I was like, oh, okay, I get why they're going against the classic, like Salem's Lot speed or
Mhm.
theme. I don't even know what you would call it, but you know, style. And at first it kind of like rubbed me the wrong way, and I was like, and then but as the movie progressed, I was like, okay, I see you, and you're doing a good job. Fine.
Nice. I think you hit something on the nail, which is like one of my biggest cons for the film is I think the first like there's like that first intro and then there's like a good 15 minutes or so of character development and like atmosphere building and all of this and like I thought it was really well done. And then the rest of the movie is like balls to the wall, in your face, action constantly, people are running around, people are dying, shit goes crazy. And I was like, okay, this movie needs to take a step back for a second, let us breathe, because it's getting crazy in here.
And I don't think it gave you a chance to breathe. And versus like the made for TV series, it did, and it was like a slow burn. like the anticipation, the suspense was definitely more there than the jump scares, which was in this movie, I think.
Yeah.
And so if you're not into that, maybe like the jump scares, the in your face vampires, then you might not like this version. But I mean, it kept me on my toes.
Yes, that is for sure. I think I probably would have preferred a little bit more of a slow burn at the beginning, and it kind of just like building up all of these different characters and these townsfolk. But I kept reminding myself, like, this isn't a mini series. This is a film version of the book, so they have to go at a quicker pace. And so I kind of just like about an hour into it, I was like, okay, I'm gonna go with it. You know what I
Yes,
mean?
same.
And when I finally went with it, I was like, this is just crazy, spooky fun. And that's like literally all I can say about this movie. And when you want to watch a movie during Halloween season, like this to me is like right up your alley,
Absolutely, like this is a very good Halloween movie
Mhm.
to watch with people. I think as a group, specifically.
Yes.
I know I had to release my wanting it to be like the mini series slower, even like the first one, but I think it did a great job, and it was like nerdy and nostalgic, but also its own movie, and that was great.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And I think it hits all the points of, I mean, Gary Dauberman, who wrote and directed this film, he also co-wrote the It films. And
Ah,
I think he is able to very well capture that Stephen King spirit of like small town, all these kooky characters in this small town, and that nostalgic feeling that you were just talking about. And I think that is really captured well in this film. And I think it's very authentic to Stephen King.
I think so. I don't know if I felt it captured the small town as well as all the like the versions I've seen.
Okay, that's fair.
I was kind of looking for more of that. I think it was definitely more, this is a vampire movie with jump scares. I
Yeah.
definitely, um, there were notes in the beginning as with Mark, the main character, was like, oh, this is the most Stephen King aspect ever, you know? Um, so that was good. And I saw, and it's funny, I didn't even connect him to it. And you can see the writing there, that perfect, like, kind of like child hero, like,
Yes.
character, very
Yeah.
well realized. But I think that was my con with this, is because it missed the
Oh.
plot of Salem's Lot, of this small town.
And I think
You
that's
know,
where that character building and that if they did a little bit more, like, honestly, I really enjoyed the film and I feel like it could have been another 20 minutes longer and we could have gotten some character, like more character building at the beginning, especially with Mark, the young lead character, and then also the lead character played by Lewis Pullman. What was his name again?
Ben Mears,
Yes, Ben Mears, the author, the
the
Stephen
author,
King archetype.
classic.
Um, I would have liked to know more about him. You know, like what kind of book are you writing right now? What kind of things are you investigating about your town that you used to live in? You know, I feel like there was more we could have learned about him to connect to him more. And then I would have maybe felt more attached to this small town. So I think a good like 15 minutes or 20 minutes more of character building with all of these side characters too, I think would have done this film a great service.
Oh, absolutely. I feel like there were so many moments where with like Ben's character, oh my gosh, I'm so sorry. The teacher
Mhm.
character, like, oh, they were like almost there. Mike, the
Almost
great,
there.
almost there, but you just needed a
Yeah.
little bit more time, a little bit more development, and which they didn't have, I guess, and that's fair. Like, it's fine. That's why you go watch the miniseries. So.
Exactly. And so, what the movie lacks, though, I think, in that character building, I think it makes up for in its horror action. Like,
I love that you said
it's
horror
crazy.
action because the other ones are very horror suspense. It makes
Hmm.
you like just like tense. This one, I literally was hitting my face to block my eyes so suddenly that I hurt myself. I was just like, ow, ow. Like,
Yeah,
just,
it's like non-stop. Like balls to the wall is the only phrase I can think of about this movie, and like it's literally like the last hour and 10 minutes of this movie. Like it just non-stop. People are dying, shit gets crazy, and then it ends. And I'm like, like at the end of the day, this isn't a perfect film, but I had some damn fun with it.
yes. Oh, and I do like, I wish this fun was with an audience in theaters. Like, oh, it would have been,
Absolutely. Like there are a couple of moments in there, especially at the end, where I was like, I feel like I could be in a movie theater right now and people would be like cheering and like, yeah, go, like I don't know. I just feel like that could have happened and then we're now relegated to watch it on HBO Max. At least we get to see it.
yeah, I'm grateful for that. Thank you, WB. So, Sean, what do you rate Salem's Lot?
Ooh, that's a hard one. I definitely think this movie is worth watching. So I'm gonna say it's a 3 out of 5 for me, with the caveat that there are a lot of issues with it. I think that it is not all of that scary. It's definitely not like a super scary horror film. And I think that it moves really quickly, where it could have slowed down a bit and really got into that character development that I was really hoping. Because there's a lot of interesting characters in this film, and we just don't get a lot of substance from them. But what I will say is, I had a damn good time with Salem's Lot. I think that it is less of a horror film and more of a spooky action movie, if, if that makes sense. It kind of reminds me of last year's Dark Harvest that came out, that was also very similar. Where there was a lot of action in it and there was some really kind of fun, gory moments and spooky moments, but it wasn't all that scary. So I think these two are kind of on the same level. And where it kind of lands with me on Stephen King adaptations, I would say I think it's right in the middle. I think there's been a lot worse Stephen King adaptations, and I think there's also a lot better Stephen King adaptations as well. So it lands right in the middle. It's not anything to write home about, but I think if people want to watch a spooky, fun film during Halloween season, they can't go wrong with Salem's Lot.
Nice. Yeah, like took the words right out of my mouth for the most part. Because I too am
what,
giving it,
what would you give it?
I'm giving it like a solid 3 out of 5. Well, also though, I was very scared. I literally hurt my face trying to cover my eyes for scenes. But I'm also scared
That's
of
fair.
vampires, so like
I guess everybody does have like a different tolerance and a different like certain things scare certain people, so that makes sense.
yeah, you're more paranormal scare kind of guy. That doesn't do so much
Mhm.
for me. But you get me a bald blue vampire, I'm gonna like crap my pants. So um yeah, so I thought it was pretty scary. I agree with what you said about it was more actiony, while I like my other versions of Salem's Lot to be a little more suspense, creepy,
Mhm.
like get into your skin kind of thing. And this one
Yeah.
was just kind of like vampires are coming at you, like be prepared. Um, Fun action. And again the taking your time. The characters felt a little rushed and also kind of thrown at you, and you didn't have time to root for them or really get to know them as well as I would have liked it to be. Um, Entertaining directing. I liked the kind of twist this director took on it
Hmm.
as an adaptation for Salem's Lot. I I enjoyed it, but I don't think it was like mind blowing. It was just like a fun little like, ooh, I see, nice, a little sprinkle of yourself on there. That's very nice. I don't know. Um, and I don't know if I'd watch it again. I think I'd watch like the Rob Lowe Salem's Lot this year.
I
But
was
I
gonna
think
ask you that. Like, would you like out of all of them, which one would you watch again?
oh, Salem's Lot. Like I finished this one and now, or sorry, Rob
They're
Lowe's
all called
Salem's
Salem's
Lot.
Lot, Morgan.
The one Salem's Lot, no, the Rob Lowe one, made for TV with Donald Sutherland, rest in peace. Like that was, it's my go-to one. I would rewatch that every year. But I think
Nice.
this one is entertaining enough that if you're looking for a fun scare for this year Halloween, like watch it with friends and go at it. It'll be fun.
Agreed. Thank you so much for watching Lost in the Reel.
And please let us know what you think of Salem's Lot and what are your like favorite Stephen King adaptations in film or TV, and what are like your least favorite. Let's get a dialogue going. I want to hear your thoughts.
I like that. Mine's definitely It Chapter 1.
As your favorite.
Yeah,
Okay, but which version though?
the new one.
Is I like the old school one. I'm sorry, Tim Curry.
This is what we want. We want
Yeah.
dialogue in the So make sure to comment down below and let us know your thoughts. And thank you so much, our friends. We'll see you next time. Take
Bye.
care.